and welcome back to the most amazing YouTube channel. I'm Rebecca Felgate, your most amazing host, and today we're talking about the top 10 laws that will change in 2018. Before we jump into this video, I want to remind you that we do have merch available, so if you're thinking, hey Rebecca, sweet shirt, like 1, you're right, and 2, you can buy one of your very own. The link is in the description box down below. Okay, so back to the laws changing in 2018. At the end of this video, why don't you guys let me know what you would make law if you were queen of lawmaking. Coming in at number 10, we have gay marriage in Australia. Recently, Australians voted in a survey on the topic of same-sex marriage. Statistics in the survey showed that 61% of the Australian public voted that they were pro-legalizing marriage for homosexual couples. The turnout was said to be 79.5% of the population. While this survey is not legally binding, it is expected now that the government will move to put this into the law. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull said, "They voted yes for fairness, they voted yes for commitment, they voted yes for love, and now it is up to us here in the Parliament of Australia to get on with it." And hopefully get on with it they shall. Legislature should be in place in 2018. Coming in at number 9, there will be 11 mandatory vaccinations in France. Vaccines are estimated to save more than 10 million lives, and recently a lot of Europe has been dealing with an outbreak of measles. The reason for the outbreak is that a lot of parents seem to think that vaccinating their child is optional and they decide not to do it. France is now moving to make 11 different vaccines mandatory. The Prime Minister Eduardo Philippe called the rise in preventable illness unacceptable. Coming in at number 8, there are new data protection laws coming into Europe. Nothing is sexier than data protection, am I right? No, of course not, but let's just try and get through it. So the new General Data Protection Regulation is enforceable from the 25th of May 2018. The new law aims to give people in Europe better protection of their personal data, for example their IP addresses and internet browse history. It also allows people access to information on how exactly their data is being used. Coming in at number 7, from 2018, there may no longer be any child support in the USA. In November 2017, news headlines told us that Trump and Congress had voted to end child support in the United States. But guys, be careful, this was actually a viral internet hoax. A site called React365 allows people to post prank news to trick people. This is exactly what happened, and then some foolish smaller news outlets took this as gospel and wrote articles on it. Classic fake news in action. When it comes to a news source, guys, you need to check it once, then check it twice. Oh, yep, always quoting Taylor Swift by accident. Good. Coming in at number 6, there is a new holiday in the USA. On March the 28th, 2017, President Donald J. Trump signed the Vietnam War Veterans Recognition Act of 2017. This act officially recognizes March the 29th to be recognized as Vietnam War Veterans Day annually. While March the 29th, 2017 was officially the first Veterans Day, there is likely to be 2018 celebration to mark the first anniversary. The Vietnam War Veterans Recognition Act also encourages Americans to display their USA flag proudly every year on March the 29th. Coming in at number 5, we have changes to South African smoking laws. While nothing is set in stone, it looks as if 2018 could be a landmark year for change in regards to smoking in South Africa. Business Tech reported that Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi said that the Tobacco Products Control Amendment Act would be submitted to Cabinet for approval early next year. The act would look to impose a zero-tolerance ban on indoor smoking in public places. It would also introduce stricter controls on outdoor smoking near public buildings. Again, it would also adjust laws in how cigarettes are sold and displayed. Coming in at number 4, the UK is banning sexist commercials. No more women in the kitchen while the man's out back fixing the car. No more tits and teeth to sell toothbrushes. Absolutely none of it, and actually I guess it kind of makes sense. In the UK, advertising laws are changing, and there will now be a ban on gender stereotypes and sexist advertisements. Advertisements will not be allowed to mock people for not conforming to gender stereotypes either. For example, it would not be okay for an ad to mock a male for crying because it isn't considered manly. If brands don't conform, the Advertising Standards Agency can fine them. Coming in at number 3, minimum wage entitlements are going up. In the USA, several states are raising their minimum wage in 2018. California looks set to become the first state with a $15 minimum wage, and New York City will also raise its minimum to $15. In Hawaii, minimum wage will go up to $10.10. Maine will get a $10 minimum wage, and Michigan goes up to $9.25. Vermont up to $10.10. Things are still looking pretty low in Minnesota though. In Canada, minimum wage will increase to $14 in Ontario and $15 in Alberta. In the United Kingdom, the national minimum wage will increase to £8.05. It is likely minimum wages will increase in most countries in line with inflation. Holla at you number 2, weed is about to be legalized in Canada. Marijuana is set to be legalized in the Great White North by Canada Day 2018, so that's the 1st of July. This is just another reason for Canadians to party. It'll be a whole different kind of chilled party this year, I think. The Liberal government vowed to make it happen in 2015, and it will finally come into effect in 2018. Each province will set their taxes and legal consumption ages accordingly. Finally, at number 1, a step in the right direction for equality in one of the least tolerant corners of the earth. Women will be able to drive in Saudi Arabia from 2018. Women have traditionally been considered as inferior to males in Saudi Arabia, and they don't have the same rights. Up until this year just gone, women have not been allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia. Now to me, this is ridiculous. I'm a female that's grown up in the West with little to no restrictions holding me back in what I'm doing and what I want. Finally though, times are changing. Women will be allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia as of the 24th of June 2018. I for one really hope that this paves the way for more of a focus on equality, especially in the Middle East. So that was the top 10 laws that will change in 2018. Do any of these affect you? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, do let me know what you would like to make law. If I could make a law, I would make equality top of my lawmaking priorities, and I would lower the price of good cheese in Canada because it's just ridiculous. Are you listening, Canada? Thank you guys for tuning into this video. I'm Rebecca Felgate. If you liked it, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay subscribed to Most Amazing Top 10 for more fabulous lists. If you guys like this video, why not check out our top 10 laws Queen Elizabeth doesn't have to follow, and the top 10 insane American laws you didn't know existed. I'll see you next time.